Hello and welcome to this session in which we will discuss the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, the AICPA, and its role in the audit profession. The AICPA is a private organization that promotes the CPA profession. Now, the next thing you might think is, well, it must be that the organization that issue your CPA license. And the answer is no. CPA are obtained when you have your license, it's from a state or a jurisdiction, an American territory, not from the AICPA. Although the AICPA plays a major role in influencing the profession, it does not issue the license because the license is issued by the state. Now, while only CPAs can join the AICPA, the membership is optional. In other words, I'm a CPA, I am a member right now. I don't have to be a member of the AICPA. I'm also a member of my state society, PICPA, the Pennsylvania Institute of the CPAs. Also in your state, you can join both the American Institute as well as your state institute. I strongly encourage you to do that. The AICPA is the organization that writes the CPA exam. Most likely you are studying for the CPA exam, or if you're an accounting student down the road, you're going to be studying for the CPA exam. Who writes the exam? The AICPA. The AICPA is the most prominent CPA professional group. It has approximately 650,000 as of 2023 CPAs and CGMAs. What are the CGMAs? Let's talk a little bit more about what happened in 2017. In 2017, the AICPA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, they joined with CIMA. CIMA is the Charter Institute of Management Accountant to form the Association of International CPAs, which is AICPA, still known as the American, whether you want to call it American Institute or Association of International CPAs, it's up to you. They changed the name when they merged. Now, what is CGMA? It's the Chartered Global Management Accountant. Basically, it's the equivalent versus the Charter Management Accountant, the CMA, because the AICPA wanted to compete with them. It's basically business-wise, so they offered another management certification. Also, as I mentioned earlier, maybe I did not, there's a student membership. If you are still a student, you're not a CPA, you can join the AICPA not as a full member, not as a full CPA, you can join as a student member. Also, they have what they call ambassador programs. You can be a student ambassador on campus to promote the AICPA. Also, Farhat lectures. I would like you to be a student member if you're interested in student membership to add on your resume, promote Farhat lectures on your campus. But what I'm trying to say, make sure you are a member of the AICPA. Also, you could be a member of your state society as well, PICPA. They all have student membership. And if you combine the American, your state, and Farhat lectures, that's a great addition to your resume. But let's go ahead and talk about what is the role of the AICPA in the audit profession. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, FarhatLectures.com. Farhat Accounting Lectures is a supplemental educational tool that's going to help you with your CPA exam preparation as well as your accounting courses. My CPA material is aligned with your CPA review course such as Becker, Roger, Wiley, Gleam, Miles. My accounting courses are aligned with your accounting courses, broken down by chapter and topics. My resources consist of lectures, multiple choice questions, true-false questions, as well as exercises. Go ahead, start your free trial today. Hello and welcome to this session in which we will discuss the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the auditing profession. So when you think of the CPA, you might be thinking, well, the CPAs are issued by the AICPA. That's not true. Although it says American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, each CPA is licensed from a state or a jurisdiction. Yet, the AICPA as a professional private organization plays a major role in influencing the profession. Now, bear in mind, to be a member of the AICPA, you have to be a CPA. But not every CPA is a member. For example, I am a member. I am a CPA. I am a member of the AICPA. But I don't have to be a member. The membership is optional. So it's a private organization. It's a national private organization. I'm also a member of the PICPA. PICPA is the Pennsylvania Institute of Certified Public Accountant. In your state, whether you are in New York or New Jersey, there's always a state society. And I'm going to talk briefly about this and encourage you to join your state society as well, whether you are a CPA or a student, because there are student membership. Also, the AICPA, we need to know that they write the CPA exam. In other words, if you're studying for the CPA exam, this is the organization that writes the exam. The CPA also is the most prominent CPA professional group. It has approximately 650,000 members as CPAs and CGMA. Now, what is CPA and CGMA? Well, obviously CPA is Certified Public Accountant. Well, we have to just real quick here look at a history lesson. In 2017, what happened is the CPA merged with the CIMA. What is CIMA? The Chartered Institute of Management Accountant. And they formed the Association of International Certified Public Accountant, but usually we still call it as American Institute of Certified Public Accounting. They changed the name briefly. And when they merged with CIMA, they offered this certification called Charter Global Management Accountants, which is CGMA. And basically, the reason they did this is to compete with the CMA, Charter Management Accountant. But this is basically a history lesson. As I mentioned earlier, there's the student membership of the AICPA. If you're not a member, if you're a student, most likely you are a student, or you are still studying for your CPA exam, be a student member in the American Institute as well as in your state. For example, AICPA for Pennsylvania. What they do is on a regular basis, they have meetings where they invite potential employers to recruit students, you or future CPAs. That's why you have to be a member, an active member. They also have ambassadors program if you're interested. Well, you could also be an ambassador for Farhat lectures as well. But the question is, what is the role of the AICPA when it comes to the audit profession? And this is what we'll need to discuss a little bit more in details for now. The AICPA hold authority in 4 major primary areas. One of them is auditing standards, and specifically the AICPA issues statement on auditing standards. And bear in mind, those auditing standards are followed by private, not public companies, because the PCAOB issued a standard for public companies. The AICPA is private. Also, when it comes to preparation, compilation, and review for private companies, the AICPA issued standards. They're called the Statements on Standards for Accounting and Review Services. Again, I just want to review this one more time or emphasize the point that this is for private companies. The AICPA deals with private companies. Preparation is when you provide no assurance whatsoever. You don't even issue a report. You just prepare the financial statements. Compilation is when you issue a report and you provide no assurance. Review is when you issue a report and you provide limited assurance. Those services will be covered much more in details in separate sessions. Each one will have maybe 4 or 5 separate recordings to explain them. Also, the AICPA issue other attestation standards, and those are called Statement on Standard for Attestation Engagement, the SSAEs. Again, the SSAEs, we have 15 different lectures explaining the various SSAEs, but what are they? They are assurance standards for non-financial information and health form standards for specific attestations such as financial data and forecast and projection, and many other assurance standard and attestation services, which we'll talk about in a separate recording. That's the third service. The fourth service that the AICPA issue, which is the most important, is the Code of Professional Ethics. And we're going to have here also around 10 lectures explaining the Code of the Professional Ethics when it comes to the AICPA. So those are the 4 major roles or areas that the AICPA plays in the auditing standard. Now, this is just an overview. Each one of them will, consume 10 to 15 different lectures from us. What else do they do? Well, they conduct research and releases material on various accounting and auditing related topics. They also try to advance the accounting field through national promotions. If you go to their Twitter account or their Facebook, they always have those reels, those promos, introduce new assurance services for CPAs to make more money, and offer specialty certifications such as information technology and financial forensics, among other things. I strongly suggest you go to the AICPA and take a look at their website as a future CPA. Let's take a look at this multiple choice from Farhat lectures. We should be able to answer just by knowing basic information. Which of the following is responsible for issuing statement on standard for accounting and review services? Now, we know that the AICPA issue those standards, as we just mentioned, but this question basically trying to rely on your knowledge. Is it the Financial Accounting Standard Board, FASB. Remember, FASB is the issue accounting standard, basically related to GAAP. I would not choose that one yet. Or at least, let's keep it on the side. Securities and Exchange Commission, you should be able to eliminate this because this deals with public companies. Professional Ethics Executive Committee, although we did not mention this, the word ethics should take it out because we're dealing with accounting and review services. Accounting and Review Services Committee, how about that? I would say I'll take out A for sure now, not GAAP. Accounting and Review Services Committee. Once again, what we're looking here at is your knowledge, your understanding of what is statements on standard accounting and review services, basically compilations and reviews. Do you understand what those are? And they are issued for private companies by the AICPA, and the committee responsible for those is Accounting and Review Services Committee. What should you do now? Go to Farhat Lectures, look at additional MCQs, true, false, multiple choice questions. That's going to help you do better on your exam. Whether you are a CPA exam candidate or an accounting student, good luck, study hard, and much more to discuss these topics in a separate recording. Stay safe.